Welcome to Kash the psychologist. Subscribe, like, and share. Let us dive into the power of your subconscious mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Chapter 4: Mental Healings in Ancient Times. Down through the ages, men of all nations have somehow instinctively believed that somewhere there resided a healing power, which would restore to normal the functions and sensations of man's body. They believed that this strange power could be invoked under certain conditions, and that the alleviation of human suffering would follow. The history of all nations presents testimony in support of this belief. In the early history of the world, the power of secretly influencing men for good or evil, including the healing of the sick, was said to be possessed by the priests and holy men of all nations. Healing of the sick was supposed to be a power derived directly by them from God, and the procedures and processes of healing varied throughout the world. The healing processes took the form of supplications to God, attended by various ceremonies such as the laying on of hands, incantations, the application of amulets, talismans, rings, relics, and images. For example, in the religions of antiquity, priests in the ancient temples gave drugs to the patient and practiced hypnotic suggestions prior to the patient's sleep, telling him that the gods would visit him in his sleep and heal him. Many healings followed. Obviously, all this was the work of potent suggestions to the subconscious mind. After the performance of certain mysterious rites, the devotees of Hecate would see the goddess during sleep, provided that before going to sleep, they had prayed to her according to weird and fantastic instructions. They were told to mix lizards with resin, frankincense, and myrrh, and pound all this together in the open air under the crescent moon. Healings were reported in many cases following this Gnostic procedure. It is obvious that this strange procedure, as mentioned in the illustrations given, favored suggestions and acceptance by the subconscious mind of these people by making a power appeal to their imagination. Actually, in all these healings, the subconscious mind of the subject was the healer. In all ages, unofficial healers have obtained remarkable results in cases where authorized medical skill has failed. This gives cause for thought. How do these healers in all parts of the world effect their cures? The answer to all these healings is due to the blind belief of the sick person, which released the healing power resident in his subconscious mind. Many of the remedies and methods employed were rather strange and fantastic, which fed the imagination of the patients, causing and aroused the emotional state. This state of mind facilitated the suggestion of health and was accepted both by the conscious and subconscious mind of the sick. This will be elaborated on further in the next chapter. The biblical accounts of the use of the subconscious powers. What things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Mark 11:24. Note the difference in tenses. The inspired writers tells us to believe and accept as true the fact that our desire has already been accomplished and fulfilled, that it is already completed, and that his realization will follow as a thing in the future. The success of this technique depends on the confident conviction that the thought, the idea, the picture is already a fact in mind. In order for anything to have substance in the realm of mind, it must be thought of as actually existing there. Here, in a few cryptic words, is a concise and specific direction for making use of the creative power of thought by impressing upon the subconscious the particular thing which you desire. Your thought, idea, plan, or purpose is as real on its own plane as your hand or your heart. In following the biblical technique, you completely eliminate from your mind all consideration of conditions, circumstances, or anything which might imply diverse contingencies. You are planting a seed, concept in the mind, which if you leave it undisturbed, will infallibly germinate into external fruiting or external fruition. The prime condition which Jesus insisted upon was faith. Over and over again, you read in the Bible, according to your faith, is it done unto you? If you plant certain types of seeds in the ground, you have faith they will grow after their kind. This is the way of seeds, and trusting the laws of growth and agriculture. You know that the seeds will come forth after their kind. Faith, as mentioned in the Bible, is a way of thinking, an attitude of mind, an inner certitude, knowing that the idea you fully accept in your conscious mind will be embodied in your conscious mind and made manifest. Faith is, in essence, accepting as true what your reason and senses deny, i.e., a shutting out of the little, regional, analytical conscious mind and embracing an attitude of complete reliance on the inner power of your subconscious mind. A classical instance of Bible technique is recorded in Matthew 9:28 to 30. And when he was come into the house, the blind man came to him, and Jesus saith unto them, Believe ye that I am able to do this? They said unto him, Yea, Lord. Then touched he their eyes, saying, According to your faith, be it unto you. And their eyes opened, and Jesus straightly charged them, saying, See that no man know it. In the words, according to your faith, be it unto you. You can see that Jesus was actually appealing to the cooperation of the subconscious of the blind men. Their faith was their great expectancy, their inner feeling, their inner conviction that something miraculous would happen, and that their prayer would be answered, and it was. This is the time-honored technique of healing, utilized alike by all healing groups throughout the world regardless of religious affiliation. In the words, see that no man know it, Jesus enjoins the newly healed patients not to discuss their healing because they might be subjected to the skeptical and derogatory criticisms of the unbelieving. This might tend to undo the benefits they had received at the hand of Jesus by depositing thoughts of fear, doubt, and anxiety in the subconscious mind. For with authority and power he commanded the unclean spirits, and they came out. Luke 4:36. When the sick came to Jesus to be healed, they were healed by their faith together with his faith and understanding of the healing power of the subconscious mind. Whatever he decreed, he felt inwardly to be true. He and the people needing help were the one universal, subjective mind, and his silent inner, knowing the conviction of the healing power changed the negative, destructive patterns in the patient's subconscious. The resultant healings were the automatic response to the internal mental change. His command was his appeal to the subconscious mind of the patients, plus his awareness. feeling, and absolute trust in the response of the subconscious mind to the words which he spoke with authority. Dr. Joseph Martin, in his book, tells us the miracles at various shrines throughout the world. It is an established fact that tours have taken place at various shrines throughout the world, such as in Japan, India, Europe, and America. I have visited several of the famous shrines in Japan. At the world-famous shrine called Diabusu is a gigantic divinity of bronze where Buddha is seated with folded hands, and the head is inclined in an attitude of profound contemplative ecstasy. It is 42 feet in height and is called the Great Buddha. Here I saw young and old making offerings at its feet. Money, fruit, rice, and oranges were offered. Candles were lit. Incense was burned, and prayers of petition recited. The guide explained the chant of a younger girl as she murmured a prayer, bowed low, and blessed 2 oranges as an offering. She also lit a candle. He said she had lost her voice, and it was restored at the shrine. She was thanking Buddha for restoring her voice. She had the simple faith that Buddha would give her back her singing voice if she followed a certain ritual, fasted, and made certain offerings. All this helped the 2 kid of faith and expectancy, resulting in a conditioning of her mind to the point of belief. Her subconscious mind responded to her belief. To illustrate further the power of imagination and blind belief, I relate the case of a relative of mine who had tuberculosis. His lungs were badly diseased. His son decided to heal his father. He came home to Perth, Western Australia, where his father lived, and said to him that he had met a monk who had returned from one of the healing shrines in Europe. This monk sold him a piece of the true cross. He said he gave the monk the equivalent of 500 US dollar for it. This young man had actually picked up a splinter of wood from the sidewalk, went to jewelers and had it set in a ring so that it looked real. He told his father that many were healed just by touching the ring or the cross. He inflamed and fired his father's imaginations to the point that the old gentleman snatched the ring from him, placed it over his chest, prayed silently, and went to sleep. In the morning, he was healed. All the clinic's tests proved negative. Of course, it was not a splint of wood from the sidewalk that held him. It was his imagination aroused to an intense degree, plus the confident expectancy of a perfect healing. Imagination was joined to faith or subjective feeling, and the union of the 2 brought about a healing. The father never learned of the trick that had been played upon him. If he had, he probably would have had a relapse. He remained completely cured and passed away 15 years later at the age of 89. Dr. Joseph Murphy goes on telling us that one universal healing principle. It is a well-known fact that all of the various schools of healing effect cures of the most wonderful character. The most obvious conclusion which strikes your mind is that there must be some underlying principle which is common to them all, namely the subconscious mind. And the one process of healing is faith. It will now be in order to recall to your mind once more the following fundamental truth. First, that you possess mental functions which have been distinguished by designating one the conscious mind and the other the subconscious mind. Second, your subconscious mind is constantly amenable to the power of suggestion. Furthermore, your subconscious mind has complete control of the functions, conditions, and the sensations of your body. I venture to believe that all the readers of this book are familiar with the fact that symptoms of almost any disease can be induced in hypnotic subjects by suggestion. For example, a subject in the hypnotic state can develop a high temperature, flushed face, or chills according to the nature of the suggestion given. By experiment, you can also suggest to the person that he is paralyzed and cannot walk. It will be so by illustration. You can hold a cup of cold water under the nose of the hypnotic subject and tell him, "This is full of pepper. Smell it." He will proceed to sneeze. What do you think caused him to sneeze? The water or the suggestion? If a man says he's allergic to Timothy grass, you can place a synthetic flower or an empty glass in front of nose when he is in a hypnotic state and tell him it is Timothy grass. He will portray the usual allergic symptoms. This indicates that the cause of the disease is in the mind. The healing of the disease can also take place mentally. You realize that the remarkable healings take place through osteopathy, chiropractic medicine, and naturopathy, as well as through all the various religious bodies throughout the world. But it is obvious that all these healings are brought about through subconscious mind, the only healer there is. Notice how it heals a cut on your face caused by shaving. It knows exactly how to do it. The doctor dresses the wound and says, "Nature heals it." Nature refers to natural law, the law of the subconscious mind, or self-preservation, which is the function of the subconscious mind. The instinct of self-preservation is the first law of nature. Your strongest instinct is the most potent of all autosuggestions. Let us see the healing points in review of this chapter. Number 1. Remind yourself frequently that the healing power is in your own subconscious mind. Number 2. Know that faith is like a seed planted in the ground. It grows after its kind. Plant the idea in your mind, water and fertilize it with expectancy, and it will manifest. Number 3. The idea you have for a book, new invention, or play is real in your mind. This is why you can believe you have it now. Believe in that reality of your idea, plan, or invention. And as you do, it will become manifest. Number 4. In praying for another, know that your silent inner knowing of wholeness, beauty, and perfection can change the negative patterns of this other's subconscious mind and bring about wonderful results. Number 5. The miraculous healing you hear about at various healings are due to imagination and blind faith, which act on the subconscious mind, raising the healing power. Number 6. All disease originates in the mind. Nothing appears on the body unless there is a mental pattern corresponding to it. Number 7. The symptoms of almost any disease can be induced in you by hypnotic suggestion. This shows you the power of your thought. Number 8. There is only one process of healing, and that is faith. There is only one healing power, namely your subconscious mind. Number 9. Whether the object of your faith is real or false, you will get results. Your subconscious mind responds to the thought in your mind. Look upon faith as thought in your mind, and that will suffice. Thank you.